Talk about the Lightborn and their ideas as if they wouldn't have cost thousands of lives. As benevolent as you make them out to be.
That's true. A lot of crimes were committed during the Lightborn's reign, and I don't want to minimize that. But I also think a lot of those crimes were unavoidable, so to speak. Imagine you're the king of a small island, and one day your realm gets attacked by a fleet of Scarab Reavers.
Okay.
The invasion catches you completely off guard, and within a few hours, the Reavers have advanced to the farmland, just a few feet from your city's main gates. And before you know it, you have to make a decision. Will you use the time that remains to entrench your army within the city's walls to have a better chance of surviving a siege? Or do you send them into the field to fight the Reavers there, knowing that there is only a slight chance to save the farmers, but a big risk that you will lose both the city and the farmers?
I take my chances in the open field. If I didn't at least try, the farmer's blood would be on my hands. I draw back into the city. Better to have a big chance to save the entire realm than a small one to save a handful of farmers. I don't like any of these. I guess the lesser of two evils will be to go back into the city. See, I would try and get as many people to the city as much as possible to minimize casualties. But that's not what this says. But I think this one, the way that it's worded, this one makes more sense.
That's one way to see it, yes. But what if your foray would have succeeded? What if you could have prevented the massacre in the farmlands?
That is true.
What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter what you do. There will be people who will despise you for your decision.
Can't please everybody.
If your attempt to rescue the farmers fails, you will be accused of having acted blindly and idealistically. And if you just stay in the city, they will say you didn't even try.
True.
Of course, there's a small chance the foray might work, but should decisions like that really be made as if they were a game of dice? As I said, I don't mean to absolve the Lightborn of their crimes, but I'd wager my left hand that they had a lot of similar decisions to make.
Sure. Interesting thought. Speaking of Dunmore, what was that about him calling you a witch?
I knew the question would come eventually.
Yeah.
I suppose the answer depends on whether you're in the mood for some gloomy talk. Sooner or later, you'll hear it from someone else anyway, so why not from me first?
Sure. Another time, perhaps. I wouldn't have asked if I weren't interested. Shoot.
As you wish. Where should I start? Maybe with the fact that I don't remember anything that happened before my 6th winter. I don't know where I was born, and I never got to know my parents.
Before you were 6? I hate it when they say winter, because it makes it sound... Because it's like, it depends on where your birthday lies, right? So she could have been like 5 to 7 years old, if I'm thinking of it correctly. Like, you know what I mean? Or does she mean she's lived for 6 winters? Because that would mean she's 6 years old at the time. Which makes sense. You don't remember? How come?
I wish I knew.
Oh.
What I do know, though, is that the first memory I have is of waking up in the middle of some village. It was dark, and I felt dizzy and, I don't know, empty? That's probably the best way to describe it. I eventually found the strength to get up and look around, and, well, that's when I realized what was actually going on around me.
Everybody dead. What?
The entire village.
Oh.
It had been destroyed. There were corpses everywhere. Men, women, children. And the houses had been crushed as if some mad god had rampaged through the streets there. And it had all just happened hours before because the destruction was still fresh.
Sheol Gorath was there.
I didn't have much time to think about it. As soon as I got up, I saw 3 riders coming through the smoke. One of them got off his horse, ran towards one of the corpses, and started screaming something in my direction. Then I felt a blow on the back of my head, and I lost consciousness. By the name of the sun, it's strange to talk about it like this. It's been so long, but the memory feels as if it had happened yesterday.
I figure thanks for trusting me with this. It must have been hard to talk about. Why did those men attack you? Well, I already know the answer to this. They think she did it.
Well, it turned out the riders were hunters who had come from that village. They must have observed the whatever it was from the distance and ridden back to the village. At least I think that's how it went. I guess I'll never find out. The reason they thought I was somehow involved is that the village priest found me a couple of days before it happened near a shrine in the wilderness. Apparently, I was wearing torn clothing, and no matter what the apothecary tried, he couldn't wake me up from my comatose sleep. And it seems that made the riders think I was some kind of witch child, or unholy beast, whichever you prefer.
Okay. They really thought a 6-year-old child destroyed an entire village? That's ridiculous.
For you, maybe. For them, as simple people, it was probably the best explanation they had. And think about it, it's not that far off. A motherless child who neither talks nor breathes steadily is found abandoned on the roadside and has a strange mark on her face.
Which?
They leave to go hunting, and when they come back, they find their village in ruins with that foundling child being the only survivor. You have to admit, it's not that much of a stretch, even if those men hadn't been superstitious farmers.
Yeah, I could see both sides of that, yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see. Yeah, so suspicious baby found. Everybody's dead. Only that baby is lived. To be fair, it could also be that they can't accept the reality they're in. And so they try to escape it by putting the blame on somebody else. And they picked her. That's how I look at it. Anyway, yeah, I see when these men wanted to do what exactly? Take revenge?
Probably. Truth be told, I try not to think about it too much. And actually, it doesn't matter, because I somehow managed to get away before they could do anything.
Yeah.
I even made it to Ark all by myself, which didn't turn out to be much of an improvement in the end, because I was pathless.
Oh, they brought you into the Undercity, right?
Yes. Thinking about it now, I actually wonder how I made it through my time down there. But maybe that's one of the advantages of being a child. You don't think. You just act.
Yep.
Still, the winters down there were cruel, and if Master Tyrus hadn't found and taken care of me, I probably wouldn't have made it through my second year.
Mr. Tyrus, a keeper, adopted you.
Yes, otherwise I would not be here. He saw me, and he knew what he had to do, is how he put it. Of course, the Order wasn't too happy about a pathless child in the Scuola, just as some aren't happy about you being here. But Tyrus was a highly regarded man, and that's why they let it slide.
So he just saw you and decided to adopt you. That sounds too good to be true, to be honest. Why is the Order so preoccupied about pathless trying to get into their ranks? It's not like we both don't have our reasons. Yeah.
It does, yes. But then he had lost both his wife and daughter 5 years before he found me. So maybe I was some kind of substitute. I don't know. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I owe him everything.
Yeah.
He was a good man, and that's all that matters.
He's dead? You killed him too? No, I'm kidding. Okay. Yeah.
That's right, we do. But we are both still pathless, and that disqualifies us according to the holy verses. I guess now you understand why I was never as connected to Malthus's teaching as Dunmore was. To some of the keepers, I am still an outcast, and no matter what I do, I always will be.
So Master Tyrus granted you the novitiate.
Yes, and now I'm here. Well, here we've reached the end of my impressive tale. I hope you liked it.
You're definitely not the fisherman's daughter from the village, I'll give you that.
No, I guess I'm not.
So what happened to Mr. Tyrus? Where is he now?
Gone. He was very old, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. But I'd prefer not to talk about it, if you don't mind.
So that means Denwar believes that this story... What? About you be... Oh, believes that this story about you being responsible for the destruction of that village is actually true.
He does, yes, and he's not alone in his opinion. One of those hunters recognized me in the market my first year as a novice, and you can imagine that it was easy pickings for those who were already against my presence in the Order. From then on, they added names to the derogatory stares. Demon Child, Witch, whatever they could come up with.
Well, you're talented, intelligent, and pretty. Really, character? You're gonna flirt with her? Many reasons for the other novices to envy you. I saw your skills. And you're the only one who made it through the trial. The way they treat you probably has more to do with jealousy than anything else. We didn't see her skills. Did we? I don't think so. I don't think we saw their skills. Sure.
Maybe. But everything I'm capable of is the fruit of hard work. Though they will never acknowledge that. You know what's funny? To some extent, I'm glad to be who I am. That way, people just leave me alone, and that gives me more time to focus on what's important. On my goals.
Yeah. Which would be?
Several. But I'd say that's enough of the gloomy stories, don't you think? There will be plenty of time for chatter in the future. Maybe.
Maybe. Let's talk later. I should go see the Grandmaster now.
You should. It's already late, but if you want, I can show you the most important places in the temple before you go to the Emporium. What do you think?
That would be nice.
Good. Then get your gear from the chest by your bed and we'll go. You should reclaim your gear before we leave. Okay, let's go.
Hold on. Ring of the Necromancer. That's stolen? Shows what I know. I had a woodcutter's axe? Oh, right, yeah, because of the guy we found on the road. Yeah, that's right. I'm behind you.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm right behind you. Come on. You just keep on running to wherever it is you wanted to go, or bring me. Oh, wait, yeah, we wanted to see what the other conversation was. Yeah. I think it's this one, right? Yeah. Okay, let's try, see what this one is. I'm pretty sure she's not gonna like it. I think that's probably what it's gonna be.
Thank Malphus. How are you? You look exhausted.
So I want to see what this one is.
Of course. Sorry. That remark was a little redundant. But it's good to see the Grandmaster was right after all. I woke up just a few hours earlier, and he was here in the meantime. He didn't doubt for a single second that you would make it.
Oh.
But I suppose mutual congratulations are in order. We made it. We passed the trial.
Yeah. Does that make us keepers now?
Almost. Speaking of whom, this...
What? Death Deliverance the best thing that could have happened to mankind.
The way you say that suggests some painful experiences you've had with the reign of the Lightborn. But it doesn't really matter now with this cleansing ahead of us. I never had those dreams the Grandmaster talked about, even though But then again, at least now I can understand why the Grandmaster was willing to break all the traditions of Order just to get you...
Oh, okay. There we go. Alright. I'm hoping that just brings me back to the... where we were. Yep. Okay, good. So it just loops back. That's all it really does. Just keeps on looping us back.
Yes?
Walk blessed.
All right. This is the sanctum. It's a place of silence and prayer, and
Yes.
also where we'll be exalted later.
And a statue pointing over there. It is over there. It's a waterfall! It's pointing at this Dwemer thing.
Where is this supposed to be? Why is that stuff so expensive?
He's talking about drugs? Seriously? Place is talking about drugs, man. Jeez. Talking about peace weed. All you guys can think about is weed. Peace weed and stuff. Come on, man. Get with the times, man.
Okay, I think you've seen this place before. We call this part of the temple the Chronicum, and in here is gathered the knowledge of the Order, written down in books and parchments.
Cool. It's a
Plus,
library.
all of the experiments and research on artifacts and magic is done here.